Okay, welcome everyone. Good morning from around the world. We should have people jumping on from everywhere. So this is so exciting. We love doing these global trainings. Our goal here is to teach you what we were taught and how we grew and built this business. So my name is Maria Williams, and I've been with LifeVantage for almost 9 years now. My goodness. And just love this company, this product, this business, everything about this. So our goal, like I said, is to teach you, to help you. Hopefully you'll pick up some different nuggets. Sometimes just hearing someone else talking about something is what, the light bulb goes off. It's like, oh, I can use that. Oh, I can say that. So that's our goal here today. So I'm going to turn it over to our host. Laurie Charette, beautiful Laurie Charette, who lives in Colorado these days. She's been kind of everywhere. But Laurie Charette is a proud mom of 2 beautiful girls. And in 2008, she got caught up in the bad economy and lost everything she had. And she had to start over. And she landed in South Dakota. Thank goodness she landed in South Dakota, because she got to meet through someone, Pam and Mark Gordon, who introduced her to this amazing business. And today she is a Pro 7 in our business. She's been very entrepreneurial, always had some sort of her own business. So she's always been, in her own right, a go-getter, entrepreneurial. She had never done network marketing before. But when she saw that ABC investigative report, the light bulb went off, and she saw the vision. She saw this opportunity and has been running ever since and not stopping. So I'm going to turn it over to Laurie, who's going to guide us through this and get us started. So Laurie, it's all yours.
Good morning. I'm so excited. We now have 80 guests and climbing, you guys, and I have to keep remembering to hit admit all, so I got to peek over there every now and then. I'm so honored and happy to be able to host our first global blueprint training for 2019. And we're going to cover the 6 components of the blueprint. And you guys, we really need to master all 6, because we can't eliminate or bypass one and be successful here. So one thing that I would like to share with you is, first, is that we are in business, or your business was designed to be built together as a team. So honestly, if you try to build it yourself, it's going to be not only really difficult, but nearly impossible. So we're going to lock arms and we are going to run, okay? So if we have any new distributors that are here for the first time today, we want to welcome you to the LifeVantage family, and we're so happy to have you here. I'm going to kick off our training with your why. And I'm so sorry, you guys, we still got people climbing in, so this is awesome, and I have to let them in. So we're going to go over your why. And my story has a lot to do with my why, and I'm going to share a little bit more of those details with you, because I really want you to understand that there's 2 opportunities that we have here. We have the health and product opportunity, and we have the financial and business opportunity. And like Maria said, back in 2010, by 2010, I had literally lost everything and was totally devastated. I lost my home, my business, my car, my insurance, my retirement, my life. I literally lost everything. And to say I was broken would be an understatement, right? But I had faith. And even though it was blind faith, I had faith and a mindset that I'm going to have to go through it to get through it. And basically that's what I did. And I just focused on getting to the other side, even though I didn't know what that was. But I did it one baby step at a time. And so what I want you to, number one, I kind of say, sometimes we have to go through darkness before we see the light, right? And I didn't know that this path was previously orchestrated for me from the man above. And like Maria said, it led me to South Dakota. And South Dakota was a huge challenge for me. I was a Florida girl and I lost everything and I was disconnected from my family and friends. It totally changed everything. But that's where LifeVantage found me and brought me back to life, quite frankly. And so I'm so grateful for the miracles that God delivers, and that is what LifeVantage is for me, and was and continues to be, right, as we keep going forward. So you're going to find that there's a lot of amazing product stories, but I really want to make sure that you never leave the opportunity story out because it makes you feel uncomfortable, right? Does that make sense? Sometimes we're not uncomfortable talking about the business because that's where we feel. We feel like we're pushing something on somebody. But if the angels that delivered this to me never shared this opportunity with me, there's no doubt that my life would totally be very, very different and very, very difficult, simply because we're in a whole different economy now, right? And things just aren't the same. So please know from your heart that everybody deserves to hear about the opportunity and the business, that we can't make that decision for them. Quite frankly, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors, right? So let me keep admitting here. Sorry, you guys. So we need to have, you need to have a good understanding about your why. And you'll often hear people say your why should make you cry. And the reason why is because we want you to be deeply connected and rooted to your why. We made this decision to join LifeVantage, but what do you want out of LifeVantage? How do you want your next 5 years to look different than your last 5 years? And so it needs to be detailed and specific. So what you'll see is often it's recommended to do your dream board or your vision board, because that allows you to, you're actually laying out or mapping out or laying out your map to your dreams, right? And it allows you to have that vision and have that focus and know what you're moving forward to. And that's something that you want to see. You want to put it in a place where it's visible, where you're looking at it often, and you have that constant reminder, okay? So your why needs to be deep, it needs to be strong, it needs to push you through. There's going to be times when we're, I keep forgetting, sorry guys. There's going to be times where we're frustrated or we don't feel like it, right? There's going to be times where we're faced with speed bumps and life challenges. There's times where we're not going to feel motivated, or it's going to be a bad day, right? And I'm going to go out on a limb here, you guys. I want you to take your LifeVantage job serious. Those same expectations that we have from our day job, we've got to show up, but we can't just show up, right? We have to do the job, because if we don't do the job, then we don't get paid. We don't have excuses. We don't second guess. We're not saying, I don't feel like going in today. We are very robotic in that routine, and we get out there and we just do it. So if you think about it, you already have a why, right? Your why gets you up every morning, gets you out of the bed and out the door to do the job that you need, because why? I have a mortgage to pay. I've got to put food on the table, right? And so we do that even when we don't feel like it. And so that's what we need to have here. We need to take that same work ethic and we need to apply it to our LifeVantage business. And you may say, you know, Lori, I didn't want another job. But if you can apply, like I said, those same that same work ethic and expectations to your LifeVantage business part-time while you're working your daytime job, I promise that you are going to have this business will have an impact on you and your family, and it will literally curve that retirement timeline dramatically. So take your LifeVantage decision very serious, give it the attention it deserves, because number one, the people that you know and care about need to hear about the opportunity that we have, but also you deserve to be able to bring your dreams to a reality, all right? So when you do your vision board, I'd like to add, be very specific about making your pictures or writing it down. You don't have to get crazy about it. If you get too detailed, then you never get it finished, okay? But you want to really, you want to know what it smells like, what it feels like, what it tastes like. Where is your house going to be located? What's around you? Are you on the beach? You know, can you see yourself having block party with your new neighbors? What kind of vehicle do you have? What color is it? What vacations will you be going on? And who will you be taking with you, right? You really, I mean, you've got to be in that dream, know exactly what you want and what you're striving for. That way you can keep your eye on the prize and know how to keep moving forward. So understand the importance of your why. I encourage you, if you have lost your why, because oftentimes we have to go back and revisit and we have to tweak it and adjust it. But make sure that you go and check that out maybe every 6 months to a year. It'll let you know if you're on pace with yourself, right? We're not in competition with anybody else. So we're looking at the beginning of 2019. So I think that's just a fabulous time to go ahead and do a vision board and let that represent your why, all right? So again, I want to say that I am so grateful and appreciative to have the honor to introduce our guest speakers today. Honestly, I love every one of these ladies, and if you don't already, you will too. So I'm grateful and proud to not only be LifeVantage cousins with them, but friends, be able to call them friends. So we have up first, or next, Brenda Geary. And I'm not sure if I need to be muting everybody. Maria, do I mute everybody and then she unmutes herself?
Either way is fine. It's kind of quiet, so it's working out. If it gets noisy, I would just mute all and then she can unmute herself. But Brenda's there and ready to go. Okay,
fantastic. So, and I'm going to read their bios for you guys, but Brenda is just such a beautiful, beautiful woman, and she has a wonderful story and a wonderful husband. I absolutely love these guys. They are like the cutest couple ever. So let's hear a little bit about Brenda. Brenda is a former corporate executive turned entrepreneur and motivational speaker. After 2 decades as a successful human resources vice president in a Fortune 500 company, her world was turned upside down when she developed a number of autoimmune diseases and subsequently also was diagnosed with breast cancer. As a result of overcoming her health challenges, Brenda is now passionate about sharing her story of recovery while educating and inspiring others on how to achieve and maintain optimal wellness by leveraging the science of Nutrigenomics. She's also an amazing coach, teaching others how to build a successful LifeVantage business to create a massive passive residual income. So we heard the why, and she's going to share the invite. So if you are unmuted, it's your turn to go ahead and take it away, Brenda.
Awesome. Can you hear me okay?
Perfect.
Okay, here we go. Good morning, everybody. I'm super, super excited to be here. It's my absolute honor to have been invited to share this morning with all of you. And I consider myself super blessed to be in the company of such amazing presenters. So thank you again for the invitation. What I wanted to do is just tell you a little bit about my story as we get started, and just kind of share a little bit about why I'm so super excited about the LifeVantage opportunity. You know, Lori shared about her financial struggle, about her why. And so for me, I'm just going to share my screen here. Let's see here. So for me, because I love pictures, I think they do say 1,000 words. Okay, so as Lori mentioned, I was a VP of Human Resources in corporate America, and I absolutely loved what I did. I was always that happy, healthy girl, never ever getting sick, and I never got sick. And also, you guys, one of the reasons I'm so passionate about this business is teaching people about, taking control of their biology, because you don't realize how much we take our health for granted until we lose our health. And that's my story. And so at the height of my career, life happened for me. And so sometimes when we're sharing this story with the LifeVantage opportunity, someone may be thinking, well, I don't have any issues going on, but you don't know when life could possibly happen for somebody. So as you can see in the pictures here, I went through a tremendous health challenge and health journey. And at the height of my sickness, I was on 24 prescription medications. I was in bed 20 hours a day. I had a number of really debilitating autoimmune issues. And we were introduced to this opportunity by a 24-year-old young man that I will forever love, Ryan Jackson. And he simply said to my husband, are you open to taking a look? He had found out, you know, he had met my husband, cold contact, and he met my husband, and they got to talking, and he found out that I was sick in the course of their conversation. So this is one tip for when you're inviting, is listen to people and listen to what they're saying. So when he found out that I was sick, he basically said, and this is the most perfect invitation ever, you guys. He simply said, hey, I have something that I think might help your wife if you're open to taking a look at it. It's an ABC primetime investigation. How simple. And so my husband said yes to taking a look at it. He came home, he looked at it, he dragged me out of bed. I took a look at it and I said, this is it. I've got to give it a shot. I've got to put this in my body. And it was transformational for me. Lowering oxidative stress, activating NRF2 was a game changer for me. Got my life back. And then I did go through breast cancer as well. And so I'm 7 years remission. And the power of just biohacking our bodies from a health perspective is amazing. And so you guys, when you're looking at people, as Lori said, we have an amazing health opportunity to offer folks from a prevention, just from a being proactive perspective, and then helping people to maybe get body function back. My passion for the business part is equal to Lori's because, you know, as a human resources leader in 2008, 2009, when the economy crashed, it was literally my job to fly around the world, laying off 60% of my employee population. And you guys know that the economy has tremendously shifted. So what I tell people is whatever job you have right now, do it because it pays the bills or because you just love doing it. But definitely because life has its ups and downs. People get sick, family members get sick, the economy shifts. Build your LifeVantage business so that it's something that you can build in the nooks and crannies of your life and no one can ever take it away from you. And so building the well, dig the well before you're thirsty is absolutely a model that I share with everybody, okay? So the invitation is my topic. And so just a couple of things about the invitation. So, you know, we have an incredible gift to share with people. It's an amazing gift. And so as Lori said, sometimes we get in our heads about, you know, what we're offering folks. And it's only our job is simply to invite people to take a look. Simply invite people to take a look at what we have. And remember also that you are the messenger, not the message. You should not be sharing everything. We want to use our third-party tools. And so for me and my husband and our organization, we're still leading with that ABC primetime investigation because it absolutely is the best tool for telling the story. And then it's up to us to fill in the gaps and also to use third party. But with regards to the invitation, know and have conviction, you guys, that what we're offering folks is an incredible gift. Your signal when you're inviting people to take a look at what we have needs to be really super high. If your signal is low, if you're hesitant, if you're stumbling over your words, people can feel that. They can feel your insecurity. And here's the thing, is if you don't have conviction over what we have with this business opportunity, then why would they join you? Why would you think that would give them confidence, right? So your signal should be super high, level of confidence. Whenever you're inviting, say you're inviting a friend, or you're inviting someone that you know to take a look at our opportunity, make sure that you give them a compliment. Let people know why you're thinking about them. I think that you're an amazing business person. I know that you're super interested in health. You know, you inspire me. I love your level of integrity. I love your business mind. Make sure that you're giving an authentic compliment as part of your invitation. Let your person know why you are thinking about them for this opportunity. And the biggest piece, and I know that you guys, I'll be totally transparent, I struggled with this piece for a while until I learned something from one of my mentors, and this is super critical, is that please do not be attached to the decision that the person makes once you extend the invitation and once they've seen the information, okay? And when we say don't be attached, it's not that we don't care, but it's that we're not stopped, we're not paralyzed, we don't take it personally when they say they're not interested in taking a look at our opportunity, or once they look at the ABC primetime or they've looked at the opportunity that they say that they're not interested. Because when you're inviting to a person to take a look at our opportunity, our job is simply to get the invitation. There's two things. The first thing is our job is simply to invite them to see the ABC primetime. It's just to invite them to get in front of the information. In that invitation, sometimes we get in our heads, and in that invitation, sometimes we're so worried about the end result. We're already projecting to what might they say? What are they going to be thinking? What are their objections possibly going to be? That we're so in our heads about that piece that we forget that your only job is simply to get the information, to get them to agree to see the information, okay? And then one tip that one of my mentors helped me to get, she shared this with me, and it helped me to get over myself, because you guys, this LifeVantage journey that we're on is a journey of growth. Every single one of us, myself, my husband included, it has been a journey of personal growth and personal development. And we all bring what I call the junk in the trunk to this business. We all bring possibly, or many of us bring maybe limiting beliefs about our worthiness, about, will people follow us? Will I be a good leader? As you go through your LifeVantage journey, you're going to develop skills around those areas. And for me, one of my limiting beliefs was worthiness. And one of my limiting beliefs was that I was good enough. And I took things very personally. I was a people pleaser. And so not being attached was tough for me. But here's what a mentor taught me. She said, our job is to educate. Their job is to decide. I'll say that again. When we invite to this opportunity and we get somebody in front of this information, our job is simply to educate them on what we have, the science of nutrigenomics, the amazing opportunity to create generational wealth, and then it's their job to make a decision, whether that decision is yes, no, maybe, not for me right now, okay? So that's super important. I want you guys to take that away from this training today. The other piece is when you're inviting, you guys, I see people today that are inviting by text message, or they're creating evites, or they're creating events on Facebook. Here's the thing. Those are passive activities. When you're inviting people to take a look at what we have, your invitation needs to be, you need to call people on the telephone. And you need to be inviting them by phone. They need to hear your voice. They need to hear your conviction. They need to hear that energy as a part of that invitation. And that way you can let them know, hey, I thought about you, Julie, because I know that you told me that you were looking to make some extra income. And I found something that I think might be a fit for you if you're open to taking a look. It may or may not be for you, but I just thought I'd offer this up to you. Are you available? Are you open to taking a look? So a couple of things in that invitation. Asking people if they're open to taking a look is super important, because the psychology of it is, who's not open? People are like, I'm open, right? So ask them if they're open to taking a look, and let them know why you specifically are thinking about them. I've mentioned that. And then the other piece is, Let them have a way out. This may or may not be for you, and that's okay. This may or may not be for you. Make sure that's a part of your invitation. It just gives them a way out. It helps them to kind of feel like they're not being pressured as part of your invitation. It's okay once you've invited your friend to take a look at the opportunity, especially if you're having a home meeting and say that you're inviting a ton of people. It's okay to follow up with the text message. I still say that you should follow up with a phone call so that they can hear that energy and you're letting them know. But if you then have a group text or an email or an evite after you've verbally invited your prospect, then that's fine, just to give them the address or just to provide a little bit of extra information. Maybe ask them to bring something so that you have that extra hook, okay? But please, you guys, I see so many people that are passively texting invitations. It's totally okay. I know that Eric Worre, he's one of the network marketing trainers in our industry, in our profession, and he'll say, send a text message and just say coffee. Now, that's okay to send that type of a text message because you're simply reaching out to a friend to have coffee, to reconnect with them. And then maybe in the course of that conversation, as you're talking to your friend, maybe the business will come up, okay? That's different when we talk about texting that type of an invitation. But to text someone to say, hey, I'm having a meeting on this day, will you come? Or, hey, I've got something there's a webinar tomorrow. And then people will say to me, well, I invited, 178 people. And then no one shows up. Well, you really didn't invite 178 people if you sent an evite, okay? So it's got to be personal. One of the biggest things around inviting people to take a look at our opportunity is really invite people based upon knowing what's going on in their life, okay? So that's plugging into people and what's going on. So you want to ask questions and invite based upon knowing what your prospects' wants, needs, and desires are. What's lacking? Are they struggling financially? Find out, ask questions. When you're sitting when you're reconnecting with friends on Facebook, have conversations. When you're at family gatherings, have conversations. Don't necessarily jump right then and there to say, I've got something for you, right? It's off-putting, but listen, be listening, and then kind of file it away. And then maybe a day or two later, you can give that person a call and say, listen, we were having a conversation and you mentioned that it's been a really tough time in your home because of finances, or you mentioned that your mom is struggling with some issues. I've got something I'd love to share with you if you're open to taking a look at something that might help. Okay, so really be connecting with individuals, listening to what's going on in their lives. I've got a couple examples. Your invitation should be something that resonates with you. It should be something that is representative of you. If your friends know you in a certain way, if you come at them and they know that you're totally not business focused and you say, I have partnered with a publicly traded company that's on the NASDAQ, they're going to know that that's not you, okay? So choose, there's a number of invitations I'm just going to really quickly go through. Choose the one that's right for you. So I thought about you because, like I've said, I'm excited about a new business opportunity and I thought about you. I remember you said you were tired of your job. I thought about you. When it comes to making money, do you keep your options open? Eric Worre, he has an invitation where if I could show you something that would help you with a health issue, would you give me half an hour to let me show it to you? If I could show you a way of making money, would you sit down with me? Would you? And then the infamous question, what is it, right? If you can possibly, it's not that we're being evasive, but it's an ABC prompt investigative report. Well, what is it? Listen, there's no way that I can do it credit. It's such a groundbreaking technology or opportunity that I can't give it justice by explaining it to you. It's 90% visual. It's super visual. You've got to see it like I did, okay? And then invite them to a meeting. The other piece with the invitation as I wrap up, and that is making sure that you're plugging people in to third-party validation. Third-party validation is so super critical, you guys. Our friends, they know and like us and trust us because of our relationship, but they know a lot of times they know all of our baggage. They know our warts. They know the things that we've struggled with. And so while they may like us as friends, they don't necessarily respect us as business people. So your prospect is going to say yes to taking a look at our opportunity because they like you, okay? You want to make sure, and they may just nod their head through a presentation or when they watch the video, and they're like, oh, that's not for me. Make sure that you use third party, because the relationship plus influence, your third-party validator's influence is an influencer, right? For whatever reason, and I don't know the science of this at all, but for some reason, when we bring somebody else in, just having somebody else, it's that social validation, it's that social proof. When you pair those two things together, that makes a perfect buying decision. Bringing in an expert that can validate what has just been shared. Don't be the person that's answering all the questions. In fact, when a person has a question, that's the perfect opportunity for you to say, you know what, that's a great question. Let me get my friend Marcy on the phone. She's an expert in the business, or she's a mentor to me. She has tremendous knowledge about the business and the opportunity, and she's the perfect person to answer this question for you, okay? Or even when you invite someone, you can say, hey, if you see the profit potential in this ABC primetime, I'm gonna get one of my business partners or my mentor on the phone so that they can answer your questions. And then make sure you guys, and I know that this is just a little thing, but if you've never done a three-way call and you've never done merge on your phone, practice it. Practice it with a few people so that you can make sure that you don't drop a person from the call, you know, when you're trying to do a third party, okay? And then finally, in conclusion, just a couple things real quick. That is, keep inviting people until they tell you, leave me alone, you know? Keep respectfully inviting. Be mindful of what's going on in their lives, you know? No doesn't necessarily mean no forever. It just may mean no, not now. And here's what you need to understand. You may be excited about what we have. We're all excited about what we have, but they haven't seen it yet. So they don't have that same level of urgency to getting to a meeting, to coming to a home meeting, to making time for a webinar, okay? They haven't seen it. They haven't felt what we have felt when we've seen that ABC prime time. So give your friends grace. Don't make assumptions that they're just pushing you off, right? But just understand that it just may not be the right time in their life right now. So just keep inviting them, keep following up with them. Now is not a good time. Hey, you missed the meeting on Tuesday. Totally fine. It was a great meeting, but guess what? There's something on Thursday. Be aware of what's going on be aware of opportunities to get them in front of the information that if they say, oh, I forgot about the meeting, guess what? You've got another meeting that you can invite them to. So you guys, give yourself grace. Understand that building this business is, it's a marathon, okay? And you're gonna go, and the biggest thing is just to learn, and the fact that you're on this training today is fantastic. The invite is truly the gateway skill. So practice, 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 and be sure that it's something that you're super comfortable with. With that, Lori, I'm gonna turn it back over to you.
Holy cow. That's like drop the mic. How exciting. That was fabulous, Brenda. That was absolutely wonderful. I got lots of notes. I took pictures, everything. So thank you so much. One of the things that Brenda said, you guys, is you got to keep it simple. And if we understand that our only job with the invite is to get them to the table to get the information. So like she said, the least amount of words possible, the fact that you're starting new and you don't know anything actually works in your favor, right? Super awesome. It can lift that load of bricks off of your shoulders. And in regards to the conviction that she was talking about, if you don't have that confidence in yourself, usually it's in yourself, what I want you to do is really learn about the product, our company, and this opportunity, and have the confidence in that, right? We've got 24 plus peer-reviewed studies. Learn what this product, go watch and read some of those product stories so you can have an understanding and that conviction of what it's doing for people. Because when you have that in your heart, there's nothing that's going to stop you from sharing, right? So, and also one other note that she said, invite with a personal conviction and not over text. Understand that we have a business opportunity and an amazing product. You can't convey that power in a text. You're not going to apply for a job in a text, right? So we want to be professional about what we're doing as well. Okay, so I'm super excited to go on to our next guest, and we have Elite Pro 7, Dr. Sveta Silverman. And I don't know if you remember, but I remember meeting you at your first event, and she was just as adorable then as she is today. We absolutely love Dr. Sveta. So I'm going to share a little bit about her. And she is an immigrant from the USSR. And where she was, I'm sorry, whoops. Okay, we're good. Where she was a pediatric surgeon. She graduated from University of Alberta Medical School with residency in surgical pathology, practicing breast pathology with an emphasis on cancer. We so love having her in our back pocket, you guys. She has a passion for health to include disease prevention and reduction of chronic inflammation through whole foods, happiness, exercise, and essential supplementation. She is married and is a cat lover. I love that. And has been partnered with LifeVantage since 2013. So she's going to go over the database, and without a database, we don't have an invitation, right? So it's very, very important to learn how to database. So if you are unmuted, Dr. Sveta, it is your turn to run.
Hi guys, good morning. Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. Happy New Year to you all. And it is such an honor to be in this company. Thank you, Maria Williams, Mother Maria, for inviting us. And I think I have the simplest task and the shortest task of databasing. So meaning that I can go a little bit into my story. And I love what Brenda said. LifeVantage is a journey of personal growth. And that's what it is. So as Lori said, I'm an immigrant on a mission. I'm an immigrant on a mission with massive commission, thanks to LifeVantage. So now, guys, of course, my journey started, I'm a double-trained conventional medicine physician who actually came to Canada and lost all the credentials. I did started from absolute nothing. I came to Canada with $120, and I was cleaning hotels at the Fantasyland Hotel, and then went back to medical school, graduated thanks to my husband, who was through and through with me, put me through medical school with my tremendous bickering and complaints. And 9 years later, it took me 9 years to get back to conventional medicine and start practicing medicine. And I love what I do, practicing medicine. It's a massive power. I'm a diagnostician. Now, what happened to me personally is that conventional medicine failed me. Conventional medicine failed me and failed my mother, who passed away from cancer. And then I started seeking somewhere else, and I found alternative medicine. Being introduced to LifeVantage in 2013. So basically, like, you know, and people tell us, oh, you know, this is your network marketing business, you sell. Absolutely. Guess what I sell? I sell proactive. And this is, LifeVantage is my vehicle. One of the wheels on this vehicle. Because proactivity is proactivity of you taking charge of your health. I took charge of my health. Brenda took charge of her health, embarking on LifeVantage journey. Because proactive means that the best cure of the disease is a prevention of the disease. And how many of you want to feel better, look better, function better? That's why you're on this call. But every one of us who are on this mission of LifeVantage with our products, and I encourage you to go to Charleston, because you are going to be so enlightened for what's coming. How amazing actually LifeVantage takes care of the products, upgrading them, and listening to us, customers and distributors. But every one of us, as I said, has a story of this proactivity. And that's why we became distributors, because we convey this message of health. And exactly what Brenda said, you know, my journey here is to teach. My journey is not to convince anyone to embark into LifeVantage business. I am here to teach. Yours is to take charge of your life. So and that's why I think LifeVantage is that essential vehicle. So databasing. Now, databasing, and especially databasing in my case, was very simple. So when people tell us, oh, I don't know anyone. In 2013, an incredible Marisa Harrelson, who actually introduced me to LifeVantage, to whom I'm grateful, and congratulations on your Jeep. I told Marisa, I don't know anybody. I'm a Russian immigrant. All my contacts are back home in the former Soviet Union. My 100 classmates in med school, we are brought up in a block conventional medicine with absolutely closed minds. So I had two friends, my husband and my cat. However, no, but the thing is, when we're passionate about life and we're passionate about helping people and changing their lives, we listen. We listen. And when we listen, we help. You know, I'm not going to tell you, you must be on my products. No. But I will tell you, you may need to consider this. So I'm that person who I didn't know before, or was one of my husband's acquaintances or something. I'm going to put that person in my database. So excuses that I don't have anyone, that is not a valid excuse. We are, how should I put it? We are embarking on the world. We're meeting people. And we are on a mission of help. And I cannot switch the slides. So, the professional, so now, you know, I actually, I love this training because everything that we do allows us to learn more and more. So yesterday I actually learned tons about databasing, not tons, but a lot. So I encourage you to go and listen and learn from Eric Worre, and go online and look up his databasing. So I found that there is, when you start with anything, with network marketing company, with LifeVantage, you create the active candidate list. So meaning that, number one, you just write everyone that comes to your mind. Whether you like this person, you dislike this person, you just write this name down. Sometimes you don't know why you're writing this name down. Just write it down. So you need, in the beginning, create your list of a couple hundred people. And just even without, as Eric Worre said, memory jogger, just write down the names. That is your step number one. Your step number two is called a second degree of separation. So what do? Then you start sorting out people. So then you start dividing them. This is my family. who I don't want to talk to. Oh, sorry, no, I do. Or, so these are my friends, these are my colleagues, these are my neighbors, these are my whoever I met at the grocery store. So this is my hairdresser, this is my nail woman. So you got the idea. This is my milkman, if you have one. And be careful about the milkman. So sorry guys, I have to joke. So guys, so you got the idea. You got the idea. This is your second step. And then, as I already said, constantly expand your list. Now, network on purpose. It's interesting, how do we develop in this business? You know, when we climb up the rank and we get to the higher elite distributor rank, or ranks of Pro 5 to Pro 6, then we start analyzing our database. And you know, I always analyze people. I don't judge, I analyze. When you start analyzing, analyze successful people, analyze people with huge success and learn on their patterns. So, and then look for those people with those characteristics or those patterns. I am looking for Bill Gates. I am looking for, Richard Branson. Absolutely. I am looking for Eric Worre. Because I analyze this and I see every extremely successful person has multiple commonalities. Every extremely successful entrepreneur has multiple commonalities. So search for these people and never say to yourself, well, I'm nothing, I cannot approach that person. I just read the book. I think Carrie Dickey she advised me to read this book. It's called The Third Door. So, now, so I'm basically done because I told you this is very simple. Remember, you hold the keys to transform hundreds of lives, and do not prejudge anyone. Do not prejudge anyone. What we have our hands on, I mean, as a doctor, I do understand, because that is my responsibility to understand the importance, the medical importance of what we have on our hands. So the website that I gave you, this is Extended Memory Jogger by Eric Worre. However, let me get out of this. Let me stop sharing. I'm going to our help, which is called the Blueprint. We are so lucky because we have, well, our team, whether I'm, it's my line, it's my sideline, but it's our team that is basically our main leaders are Shawn and Michelle Poe, Maria Williams, Carrie Williams, Stu Carey. But Shawn Poe created a simplified blueprint, which is an incredible, incredible tool. Of course, I quote Eric Worre, but I cannot not quote my team leader, my Shawn Poe. And look at this, how simplified it is. So now, some of us may not get it in your distributor kit, like in Canada. Now we don't have the blueprint. However, there is no excuse, because that simplified blueprint is online. You can just go online and type a blueprint LifeVantage PDF. And that's where this thing is going to pop up, and you can follow the guidelines or guiding and directions by Shawn Poe. Sorry, Michelle, I'm not trying to ignore you. Love you dearly. And I know you're an absolutely tandem and a team. So that's what I'm saying. Here, everything is self-explanatory. And this is Shawn's way to writing down. So this may be your step one. Just write the names. And then you can go and Eric Worre, memory jogger, because he's got an extended database list. So let me stop sharing. So I have an accountability partner, and I encourage you to have your accountability partner. Thank you, Valerie, for being my accountability partner. And Valerie created a list of our databasing. So this is, I am not a techie. I am not a computer person. I need the paper. So my database is name, phone, why, ABC, touches, follow-up. And then I write it down, and then I go back to them. That's how it's not my topic follow-up, but that's where I keep my people on so I won't forget. There's another thing then where we keep our people on, and hopefully it doesn't go away. It's called the cell phone. Called a cell phone. Your text, your contacts, your communication. And I know we're all busy, including me, and I'm behind on putting down this thing. But this is my task and a homework to go back into my cell phone and, and put on paper my new contacts, which I'm trying to develop every day and put them in my database. One tip that I also learned from my team leaders, thank you, all of you. Sometimes when I do the databasing, I separate it into columns. Person, why business, why health, why both. And then I approach those people from this perspective. So I'm done with my 20 minutes. Again, thank you so much for inviting me. Happy weekend.
Woo! Oh my goodness, that was awesome. And we were like so right on time. That was fabulous. Thank you so much. A couple things, love you. She is fantastic. Like I said, we love having her in our back pocket, right? So one of the things that she was saying is that without our database, you guys, we've got nothing, right? We can't even invite if we don't have a database. So you want to network on purpose and be actively seeking to create your candidate list or your database, right? So it starts with listening. Sveta couldn't have been a better person for us to have on doing the database, because if it's going to be a struggle for somebody, she came to the US with nobody, right? With 0 friends. So she has mastered the art of listening and literally hearing what's in people's hearts and what they need, and simply inviting them to hear an opportunity, product or business, right, that may benefit them, right? And again, once you learn and understand the importance of what we have, it's not our job to pre-decide for somebody else if they need to hear it or not. And I want to share with that, I have people sometimes say, oh goodness, I think I lost my train of thought. Doggone it, maybe it'll come back to me. So network on purpose and be intentional. So if you're listening and being plugged in with the team and LifeVantage, you're seeing and you're hearing the passion of what this product is doing for people, right? That is what we need in order to get out there and understand that people need to hear about it. So be intentional, listen and learn, and write them down. Grow your list, 100 to 200 people. The more you have, it's not the easier that it gets, but you don't have that desperation behind you, right? Peeking up over your shoulder. So thank you so much again, Sveta. We appreciate that. And now we're going to go on to our next guest speaker, Elite Pro 7, Nikki Elsing. And Nikki, you can see me smiling, so huge. Nikki, I love her to death. She is somebody that I was able to connect with at the beginning of my LifeVantage journey. And she is what I call crazy woman or crazy mama. And she is just a phenomenal and outstanding leader. So we're going to share a little bit about her bio, okay? Nikki is a proud mama of 2 children. Lieve is 15 and Preston is 13. She's a registered dietitian and a LifeVantage distributor who shares her life with her better half, Mitch. And we all enjoy Mitch too. So they're like two partners in crime right there. Nikki has been with LifeVantage for 7 years and absolutely loves the time freedom and the rewards from working with her team alongside the LifeVantage company. Previously, Nikki worked with within a cardiovascular hospital as an outpatient dietitian and media spokesperson. She has worked with a variety of patients, elevated their supplements, specializing in cardiovascular prevention and treatment, weight loss, diabetes management, and metabolic syndrome while doing extensive media and marketing work. This girl knows how to work, right? As well as developing patient materials and writing cookbooks for the hospital. I think your job description, they overkilled you on your job description, right, Nikki? But she, like she says, by far LifeVantage has been the most rewarding as it extends her reach to get the amazing products and information in front of a nation full of people and further. So Nikki is going to share your story, or the story. We've got 2 stories, right? And she's going to tell you a little bit more about that. So I love you. Take it away.
Lori, thank you so much. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Oh my goodness, what a power-packed morning. Maria, Lori, Brenda, Sveta, holy Hannah. I am absolutely overjoyed, and I see Sveta doing her little dance down there. Absolutely overjoyed to be in the company of all of you this Saturday morning. So thanks again for the invite. Excited to tell my story, excited to do my part, and really being able to remember, you know, Lori, as you're telling my, going through my bio, you said, oh yeah, in 7 years, and it's almost 8 years. It will be 8 years March 1st, which absolutely blows my mind. Time goes way too quick. But just thinking back, you know, I think Brenda was saying this before, you know, we're so blessed to the people that brought us into this business. And each one of us, as we sit and think about our prospects and look at our database, like Sveta was talking about, you know, sitting there and putting this in our mind and then getting a little bit of, oh man, maybe I shouldn't say anything. But then we all think of where we would be if somebody never pursued us or never cared about us enough to be able to look at it as this amazing business opportunity. So no matter what, the only thing they can say is no. If they come in your mind, write them down. And that was amazing information on both the invitation and the database. So I'll give you a little bit of background on my story this morning. And yeah, I had one of the best jobs as a dietitian. I love being a dietitian because we can basically do anything, like nothing. I mean, we could work for a sports team, we could do outpatient, we could do inpatient, we can do anything, work for restaurants, and I've done a lot of those, developed supplements, written cookbooks, done a whole bunch of different things, and got to be on TV. And one of the things that makes me laugh right now, you know, and this is funny because this is 8 years later almost, that just popped into my head as I'm listening to all of you talk about this, is reminding me that part of my story needs to be debunking the news, because that was one of my jobs. So when I was on TV, they would talk about, you know, the news would come out with some sort of something or other, a study, research, that kind of stuff. And part of my job was to get on TV and give you the nuts and bolts and why this is this way and why isn't this way and what are you supposed to do about it. And I forget that could be a great place in my story. And I don't really feel like I've shared that much. And just from the conversation this morning, it popped into my mind that that needs to be part of it. So thank you guys for that. So like Lori said, I'm a registered dietitian, nutritionist, wellness coach, and a LifeVantage distributor, and absolutely am crazy in love with this. I have been into prevention and wellness for years. I'm trying to, somebody asked me yesterday, well, how long have you been a dietitian? And gosh, it's almost 20 years, which is crazy. I guess I do have a 15-year-old daughter, so makes sense, right? But almost 20 years, and seeing the way things have changed over time has been a huge, huge thing. Always been into prevention and wellness. always had a very intense conversations with people that were very, very sick. So like Sveta talking in the medical field, you know, we have some pretty serious conversations. Whether that's someone coming into the ER, having a heart attack, going, oh my gosh, what can I do? You need to help me. I need to know. And in my head, I'm like, man, I wish I would have talked to you 25 years ago, right? As we're all making changes. And some of us are super good at some things, and some of us have work to improve. And I feel like all of us really have things that we need to improve on, myself included. And so if this is an active journey, whether it's our LifeVantage journey or our health journey, and being able to know that when this came to me and came to my desk by Joanne Shear Parkin, who was my boss at the time, she was always been my partner in crime as we try to save the world from bad choices and looking at life extension and what we can do to help everyone. We had a blast working together, and now I'm so blessed to be able to do LifeVantage with her for always. But you know, when it came across to me, it took me a while to listen, you guys, because I was an outpatient dietitian. I was on TV a lot, and I was a good victim for these types of situations. So a lot of people prospected me for a lot of different products. And that made me a little rough around the edges when anyone came to discuss things with me. But here's the difference. They had no research. I could not go to PubMed.gov and type in their product and get over 20 different peer-reviewed research studies to return when I was looking for this. So to be able to stand up and say that we have that, to be able to stand proud and not have to interpret all the data, but sending people to that information is absolutely priceless. And that is what sealed the deal for me. Being able to know that without any sort of hesitation, I could stand in front of a room and give them the information that I needed by telling my story, by giving the research or giving the back history on the company and telling them where we were, where we are now, and why this is something that's huge, and timing, all of that, which we'll talk about here in just a second. And so I can tell you the clock is ticking. Like every single day, this clock is ticking. And if you are not where you want to be, this year is your time to make a difference. Like, do not hesitate and wait. So part of this is looking at that story. So when I look at being, coming into this healthy, not having any expectation about what Nerf2, that's all we had back then, Nerf2 and the last step of the anti-aging system for the skincare. Coming into it with no expectations and just being completely open to prevention and wellness and looking at the research, that was it. I didn't need it to do anything magic. I already knew, based on the research that we had, the quality of the research by independent universities doing this research, I already had the validation that was working in me no matter what. As long as I wasn't a reptile, which I'm not, and neither are you, we know that it's doing what it's supposed to do, right? And the absolute product that they're using for the research is the same stuff I have on my counter. Awesome, right? And so knowing that I didn't need anything, but I was very pleasantly surprised by the changes and things that came across as I continued that. Leah, I'm gonna call you out a second, hon, if you can mute your phone, thank you. But being able to, you know, use this product as prevention and wellness, and knowing that we were at, like, just taking cardiovascular disease, and I'm going to take a couple minutes just to tell you this, but knowing with cardiovascular disease that we didn't have enough back then. And I feel like we still don't have enough in the regular traditional life of health and wellness and protection without Nerf2. We were at critical times of being able to, how do we prevent heart attacks, but how do we do it with supplementation and medication people are taking and whatever, you know, we had looking at this, at that point when somebody had bypass surgery, and all of us know someone who's had cardiovascular events or had bypass surgery, we didn't have a lot of options, you know. And then here laying before me 7 years ago is the study that, you know, it's showing when Protandim is added into these saphenous veins, which they use to be able to put up there by your heart to help fix you or help protect you and give you that surgery, that they're able to keep them clear, blew my mind. Because in the past, all we had was to be able to control your blood sugars, exercise, eat well, go see the dietitian. Everybody loves to do that. And take your medication, and we'll just hope for the best. And looking at, you know, 8 to 10 years down the road, you'll need a redo. And then when I'm sitting there in the meeting going, oh my gosh, my mouth just hanging open, that this is huge. When we get our body to fix itself and work for itself and work towards doing what we can to protect us, we win. So of course there's still the chances of us getting ill, and of course there's all this. That's just the way life is. But right now I feel so strongly about this Nerf 2 and Nerf 1 and fish oils and the probiotic and just everything we have, the Axio, that we just have an unbelievable gift here. So it fit very well into my bag of tricks, I call it, to be able to help, continue to care for people. However, I worked within a main hospital. There's 2 hospitals here. I'm in South Dakota, 2 really big hospitals. And I worked at one of them. And therefore, I had my hands tied. I couldn't tell a lot of people. And so if some of you are in the same situation, I could tell my story, but I couldn't talk to my patients and things at work. And so some people will say, oh, well, it's easier because you had this, or it's easier, Sveta, because you're in the medical field, or it's easier because, no, it's not. Because we still have to keep things separate. We have to still build it outside of our business, but that's okay. And it all works. And don't let that tie you up and make you stop. So when we think about being able to get this out to people, part of that is that amazing story that we have. And so being able to say, looking back, and now when I talked about adding these things into my story, is that part about debunking, the news and that kind of stuff, and being able to reassure people. Now, Brenda was saying something about, getting in a way of herself. And I'm trying to think of how she said it exactly. Taking it too personally when people would say no, like not being attached to the decision. That was really hard for me, you guys, because I was used to telling you, let's give Lori for an example. Lori, you will be healthier if you take that ice cream cone and you lick it to the right. If you lick it to the right, you will not gain weight and not increase your risk of disease. But if you lick it to the left, that's bad news. And guess what? They would all lick it to the right. They would just listen because they knew, and they were like, okay, yeah, okay. For real, you guys. And then I come into this and talk to people and they second guess it. Just because that's the way it is. And if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? And so getting past that was something else that we had to talk about. But that's where I feel like this telling your story is where you want to be vulnerable. Let them know who you are, where you've been, how you've gotten to where you are. And now I have my little note cards, so let me get those out. But telling them about your background, not that you're a network marketer, you don't need to say that. Tell them the way life was before that. And if you're a mom and you're raising babies, awesome, hats off to you. If you're out scrubbing the floors at whatever, just tell people what it is that you're doing, because that's a really important part of your story. The other thing is when you tell them your background, make sure you let them know what you didn't like about it. And one of the things that I didn't like about mine was that I ended up having to be on call on the weekends. And that was awful. I did not like that. It was like, you're on call on the weekends and you could be painting your kitchen and your pager goes off and you have to be there in 20 minutes. That sucks, right? And for me, I wasn't there very long, but also sometimes, you walk in and I'm like, oh, hey guys, I'm Nikki, the dietitian, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, all of a sudden this dead fear in their eyes, if their eyes are bulging out, they're not interested in talking to me because they think I'm going to take everything good away, right? So it's an interesting situation when you talk to people about what you didn't like. And your hope is that you're going to connect with someone in your group that has the same feeling. Maybe it's not being on call, but they're like, you know what? I'm tired of working on the weekends and I'm tired of missing out on my kids' games, or my friends are doing this and I don't get to go because I have to go here and work, and whatever. Just let them feel your pain. This is your chance to be vulnerable. And then one of the favorite things is, what's your solution? What did you find that's going to fix this pain? I found this solution in LifeVantage. And if you don't know what LifeVantage is, you're going to know, because thinking about telling your story, whether you're having this conversation privately like, you know, Lori and I are having coffee together and we're having this discussion. That can be used there. Or you can also use it in your meeting. You're going to be using it as well. And if you aren't doing meetings, do meetings. And you don't need to think, oh, I know everything about this, and then get in front of the room. Oh no, here, I know Lori was talking about, dude, I'm a Florida girl, and then I'm stuck in Sioux Falls, right? She can tell you and validate 100%. When Maria and those guys came to town, man, it didn't matter. You were in front of the room, whether you knew what you're talking about or not. And you got up there and you were like, okay, so I'm glad to be here. And then, okay, wait a second. And that's okay. You can tell them you don't know. That's all right, because that's that other connection. So I'm kind of all over the place today, but I'm thinking of little things here or there that I just want to make sure and get off my heart and teach you guys. But so using this, telling your story all the time. And you heard them talking about the invitation and why you thought of these people, right? And saying, hey, you know what, Lori, thought of you because guess what? I know you work all weekends, and I know I was working all weekends, and I was frustrated with it, and I think I found some other thing to do, and I need to tell you, when can we talk? Now, does that sound good in a text message? Not so cool, right? Did you like it better when I'm talking? Heck yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, I need to know what you're talking about. What is it? Let's meet tomorrow. Or what are you doing this afternoon? Let's meet at 2 o'clock. Let's go have coffee. Whatever. But being able to use this, tell your story. Okay, so your background, what you didn't like about it, what's your pain, why it was bothersome to you, and be vulnerable. What's the solution that you found, and then why I'm excited about the future. So, oh my gosh, you know what? I did this, that part we already talked about. The solution I found is this network marketing. And it's crazy because I've never really been a fan of network marketing, but I realize it's because I didn't know anything about it. Like, this is my first circus, right? It's going to be my last circus because I am home. This is the circus of people I want to be involved with. But, and the product and the business and the company, and I could go on and on. But I feel really good about it. And man, you know what? I would love to do this with you. Let's talk and see if this is something you're interested in. And then why am I excited? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited because guess what? June 25th, 2014, I was 38 years old and I quit my job, 4:30 p.m. Central Time. Not that it's important or anything. Can you tell I know details? Because that was a huge life-changing moment. I retired. I just do this. That was so fun. And knowing that I heard Maria talk about it, and I heard Joanne and Mark and Carrie, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and Stewie. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? You get in not for, everybody doesn't have the same reason for getting in. And I didn't really get in to get out of a job. But once you start getting into this, it is such a good situation, and it feels good, and it kind of crosses all the T's you need crossed for being able to be in a very positive environment. And you realize that, wow, there is just, you know, to me, there is absolutely no better way to make a living. So very, very excited about that story. And that is what grabs a hold of people and reels them in. And so being able to share that, and that's going to be part of your meeting, whether it's in person or at a big meeting, remember. And a meeting can be 4 people, and a meeting can be 40 people. Doesn't matter, whatever. The more the merrier, right? But also make sure you keep in mind, or 1 person, keep in mind that video, our ABC investigative report, that is there to do the heavy lifting. That is there for third-party validation. That is there to be able to get people to go, hey, I know John Quinones. That's crazy. You guys have him, right? You can't pay for that. And we never had to. It just happened, right? But people would beg for that publicity. So use it. It tells everything you need to know about it. Gives you so much information. And it's that third-party validation that we need, right? It doesn't have to be a replacement for it, right? You can still get somebody on the phone and have a conversation. But it's an excellent way for third-party validation. And then once you have told your story, you get that video in front of them, you have them watch it, that saves a lot of your breath and you having to explain in a nice condensed version. And then after that, you want to follow up with what happened after. Like, people are like, okay, that's in 2005. Oh my gosh, it's 2019. You know, what happened in that a huge amount of time? Tell them about network marketing and how we went into that business model in 2009. I like to say that ABC investigative report was this huge blinking neon light on the side of the highway, and everybody wanted in. But guess what? We didn't have the infrastructure to get it started. And you know what? This is conversation. These are words from 8 years ago that I'm saying, and I'm just spitting it back out. And we laugh because some of us are like, oh my gosh, I know that ABC investigative report by heart. Yeah, that's good. Because the more you show it, the more you win. And the over and over and over and over that we have this conversation, awesome. Absolutely love it. So following up with what's after, telling about why it's in network marketing and why you love that it's in network marketing, and how we're protected by patents and how we have all this research. And you don't have to say the research. You don't even have to talk about the research. You tell them, go to pubmed.gov, spell it out, public medicine, PUBMED.gov, your tax dollars at work, huge library of research studies. That's where I went, you guys, when I had to do TV spots or conversations in front of big groups of people. Sveta goes there every single day, I bet. As medical professionals, that's where you go for validated research and to be able to dig into things. Like if I was prospecting Sveta, I wouldn't know what she needs to validate her being in LifeVantage. And so it's very important to have her say, hey, you know what, to send her back and say, our branded supplement is in there. You take a look. Let me know what questions you have. And if she asks me questions, I'm going to hook her up with somebody with the same brain as hers. And that by all means is not me. That girl is so dang smart. And just like Lori said, we are so blessed by her. But being able to say, you know, that network marketing, it's a need in e-business. We need to have this conversation. You need to hear me care about you and know more about you and have them understand in a very simple way. Keep it simple. You don't need to know everything. Remember what I told you about us here in Sioux Falls, having to just jump in front of the room and doing the presentation. And that was so scary then, but it was so what we needed. Absolutely, positively what we needed. And I feel a lot of us grew significantly because of that. And then let them know where we're at today. I mean, oh my gosh, how excited you are for the future. Remember, this is part of your story. Why you were excited about LifeVantage, why you're excited about your story, and tell them why you're excited about where we are today. There also are some amazing documents. You know, we have these 6 basic elements, and it kind of looks goofy probably, but we're talking about, oh, somebody's phone's ringing. Hello. 6 basic elements: company, trends, product, system, timing, compensation. People want to know how you make your money. You don't have to go in crazy details because we also want to make sure we're respectful of time, individual or as a group. They don't need to know exact details. You can tell them a little bit about our compensation. Let them know how we build and how we get compensated, and how it's just sharing information about products and loving on people. And just like you would tell them about a good movie or telling them about a good book or anything like that, just let them know that that's how we do it. I like to make sure people understand what their obligation is as a distributor, because I think the reason I say that all the time when I talk with them is because that was something I needed to know. In my head, I had no network marketing background. In my head, I was worried that I would get in and I'd owe all this money and they come out every year and come take money and do this, and how was I really going to make any money? And so knowing it was my initial commitment and ordering, you know, a certain amount every month, and that was it, really was the second thing that made me go, okay, this is fabulous. So let them know. Use the earnings claim statement. Brag about it. Tell them about people in your area. You know, we have people that are getting these checks right down the street. There's 4 people in this room that are getting, you know, that are paid as elites. Tell people about it so they absolutely positively know that it's real and that that information is there. And then you can go through that commission summary and get that to them. Get it in their hands if they want to. I like to, when I go to one-on-one meetings or in a group meeting, I like to have those things laminated so I can hand them to you and you can look at it instead of just seeing it on a screen, or when we're having a conversation, instead of printing off a piece of paper that gets gross. I like to have them laminated so I can talk to them about it and show them information. And, you know, being able to get that in front of them and have it in their hands, and then sending that either to email, through Dropbox, text it to them, whatever, so that they can take the time to look things over. So that is telling the story. And remember that there's such a huge part of why you're doing this, what your pain was, how you're fixing it. I feel like that moves mountains for people in that situation. And be excited about it. A lot of times this LifeVantage business is a feeling. And people don't get this feeling of community and friendship, and all of us, like they were saying earlier, all of us cousins getting together and hanging out today. You know, people don't get that in a lot of places, and they don't get the recognition and the validation. And this is your opportunity to do that in whatever form. And I can't remember what Savetta said, immigrant on a mission for major commission, I think. I dig that. That was pretty cool. So thanks again for having me on the call today. I love seeing everybody. It's fun to be able to see everyone. So thanks again, Lori. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much, Nikki. That was phenomenal. You literally drove home the power of having your story. And the main reason is to have, so people connect with you. They connect with you first. That's where they're gonna, in your heart and your soul. It needs to be deep. It needs to be a feeling, right? That's what they're gonna connect with. And
Yes.
then we get to share our personal story and then the company story. So don't forget, there's, you know, those two stories. The company story gives you the validation. Your story gives you the connection. So I just absolutely love how LifeVantage is just attracting just amazing, top-notch people, whether they're healthcare professionals or business professionals, soccer moms, hairdressers. You know, we have such a neat melting pot of phenomenal people. And I think it was Brenda who was talking about the personal growth, you know, what we get out of this is so much bigger. The self-gratification of what we get is so much bigger than just the paycheck or just the product testimonies, right? There's just so much more. But who we're attracting is also validation to what we have with this business, you guys. That's also gives you that foundation of knowing how important this is, because look at who we're attracting, right? So thank you so much, Nikki. Powerful and phenomenal, as always.
Thank you.
So we get to go next to Pro 5 Chelsea Wellna. Again, these ladies just bring a big smile to my face. And Chelsea, I don't know if you remember, but our first time meeting was at a LifeVantage barbecue. I don't know if you remember that. And I think, if I remember correctly, you weren't even yet officially a LifeVantage distributor. I might be wrong on that. But it's been so fun watching her blossom into her beauty and her greatness over the years. And she just, like I said, brings a huge smile to my face. So we're going to go ahead and share her bio with you. Chelsea is a wife, a mom, and was formerly a Nebraska PE/health teacher of the year. How awesome. Congratulations on that. 4.5 years ago, she was introduced to NRF2 activation and the LifeVantage opportunity, which has totally changed her life. Do you see that common denominator, you guys? She has been able to replace her teaching income and now works from home as a professional network marketing. Make that claim, right? She is an energetic mindset coach and is super passionate in helping people step into their power to change their life, their mind, their body and spirit in order to live in massive abundance. Oh my gosh. Doesn't that just get you in the heart, you guys? So she is going to be talking about resolving concerns. So we've heard about the why, we've heard our invite, we've heard our database and our story. And once all of that has happened, that next step, people are going to have questions, right? And you got to be able to be prepared to answer those questions and reach out to get those questions answered as well. So if you can unmute Chelsea, and let's see if I don't see you yet.
I'm here. Hold on just a second. I'm going to share my screen.
There she is. Woo-woo! Yay!
Okay, share screen.
Take it away, girl.
I'm just sharing my screen real quick, guys, and then we will go from there. Okay. Okay, can everybody see, Maria, can you let me know, can you see my Zig Ziglar quote?
Yes, we can see it perfect.
Perfect. Okay, well, I am so excited. We're going to do a quick activity before I get started, but I just want to say I am incredibly grateful to surround myself with you guys, to surround myself with these people, these presenters, with just this amazing tribe and community. You guys, I want to tell you that you are here for a reason, that you are here for a purpose, that you have a massive gift to share with the world. And I had no clue almost 5 years ago what this was going to do for my life, what this was going to, the people that it was going to attract, the opportunities, the gateway, and the transformation that has taken place in my life and the lives of others that I'm now surrounded with. I am so, so grateful. This journey for me is about becoming. This journey for me is about sharing a massive gift with the world, changing the world, and coming from the heart, because truly, you're not here to play small. You're here to go big. And so if you're going, oh, I don't know if I should have done this, or I'm scared, I totally get it. I was there. I had no confidence when I started this. So I'm going to share my story with you. But the first thing we're going to do is, I love energy, and I love to just come from that heart space and visualization. So everybody, if you just get comfortable real quick, I like to put my hands on my heart. You can just sit, close your eyes. I'm just going to lead you through a quick visualization, and then we will get started. The breath is the life force of energy. It's breathing in love. It's breathing out fear. So we're going to start with 3 deep breaths. Go ahead and close your eyes. And I'm really doing this for myself, to be honest with you, but we all need it. So close your eyes, put your hands on your heart, or get comfortable. And I just want you to take 3 deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And you're breathing in love, and you're breathing out fear. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And I want you to just sit, and I want you to see yourself. I want you to see yourself as that powerhouse, as that purposeful human being that you are. I want you to see yourself stepping into your greatness, knowing your worth, knowing that you are here for a massive, massive purpose, and that you're going to lean into fear, and that you're going to share this gift and this opportunity with other people because somebody needs it. And if you can change one person, would it be worth it for you? Would it be worth it to change somebody's life and then have them change somebody's life? Because I'm telling you, this is real. Feel into the awesomeness that you are. Breathe in love. Breathe out fear. Open your eyes. All right, y'all, let's get started. Okay, here is my quote. And I can't see it because I've got a thing in the top, but what you get by reaching your destination is not nearly as important as what you will become by reaching your destination. So let me tell you about myself, you guys. I'm a wife. I'm a mom to 2 beautiful little girls. I have a dog. I live in Omaha, Nebraska. And almost 4.5 years ago, I was introduced to this opportunity. Actually, 7 years ago, I was introduced to this opportunity and these products. I became a customer, started taking Protandim Nerve 2. However, I did not want to do the business. And you want to know why I didn't want to do the business? My topic is resolving concerns. So I want you to know that when people are telling you no, when people are resistant, when people are asking you questions, it has nothing to do with you. It's their own fears. It's their own insecurities. So Michelle Poe reaches out to me and she says, you should look in this opportunity. I'm like, nope, no way. I didn't think I had connections. I didn't think I had influence. I didn't think I could do it. I didn't want to be a salesperson, and I didn't know if it was real. I just didn't know if it was for me. I was comfortable. I was teaching. I was coaching. And here's the thing. Here's the key. When you're talking to people, be persistent. Be a friend. Don't ever give up. A no is a not right now. I was one of those people. It took me 2 years to finally, in my timing, see the vision, to see what was going to happen, to see that I needed this, and it was a bad thing. So anyways, another thing is, if you tell somebody you're going to do this, you got to do it, because they're going to watch you. They're going to watch you and see if you're committed. They're going to watch you and see your actions. They're going to see if you're convicted. And if you don't believe in yourself in the beginning, or you are scared, that's okay. That's okay. Believe, beg, steal, borrow somebody else's belief. Plug into the events. Plug into the community. Because here's the thing, your belief will grow. And honestly, you got to fake it till you make it. Stand convicted in knowing that you are here for a purpose. So I'm teaching, I'm coaching you guys. My oldest, who's 7 now, is getting ready to go, well, not getting ready, it was going to be a couple of years, but she was going to be starting kindergarten. We hadn't had our second yet. I was scared. Like I was literally, because I was coaching until 11 o'clock at night, watching game films, not home with my family. And I thought, what am I going to do when she starts kindergarten? I'm going to miss these moments with her. Who's going to take her to school? Who's going to pick her up? And so I was thinking, maybe I should go back to college and become an administrator, get out of coaching. Maybe I should, I just didn't know. I had this fear inside of me. And lo and behold, persistence is key, you guys. Michelle Poe kept loving on me, sending me texts. How are you doing? Being a friend. Not always talking about LifeVantage. Hey, there's an event coming up. You should go check it out. Just loving on me. And I thought, this girl won't leave me alone. I watched her Facebook page. I saw what she was doing. And I thought, I want that. I called her. I said, how much money are you making? She told me. And I, in my heart and soul, said, I'm in. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to figure it out. And I had that gut feeling. God just kept bringing this back into my path. I mean, and I told God, I said, if you want me to do this, you're going to have to help me, because I didn't feel worthy inside. I didn't feel like I had connections. I didn't feel like I came home, you guys, and was a hermit. I didn't go out and socialize with people outside of my circle. So I trusted my gut, got involved. A year later, became a Pro 5. I really don't know how it happened. I just continued to take baby steps forward and share it with people. And you guys, I was scared as hell. I'm just going to keep it real. I was scared. I didn't feel worthy. I wasn't convicted. I didn't have my belief built in what we were doing. I knew the products were awesome, because I'll tell you this, we ended up getting pregnant 3 months later. Can't say it treats, cures, prevents, mitigates disease. My eyesight has improved in 4 years. It continues to improve. I don't get cluster migraines anymore. I knew the products were real, but I didn't believe in myself. And I didn't understand the industry because of that stigma. So went Pro 5 in a year. And then you guys, this last 4 years, I have been at Pro 5. But here's the thing. The last 4 years, I've never grown more than I have. And I am so proud of who I'm becoming and who I'm stepping into, and my worth, and knowing and believing and owning my power. And so if you're scared and you're like, oh my gosh, what are people going to think? I get it, because I was there. But here's the thing, keep going, keep believing, keep trusting, keep knowing, keep tapping into that God force energy. And I'm telling you, don't quit. Last year, I thought, I'm going to quit. This isn't for me. And I surrendered, and God showed up again. And I'll tell you what, you're here for a reason. You are here for a reason. And if it's even to change one life, would it be worth it to you? So here's the thing, resolving concerns. Okay, so I do have to tell you this. So now I'm a Pro 5. I'm almost 5 years in March. I'm not where I want to be, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. I know where I'm going. I'm convicted. I'm passionate. I know that I'm worthy, and so are you. But I'm home with my kids. I get to take my daughter to school. We have a beautiful 4-year-old who's fun. I get to spend time with her. I get to create life on my terms. I get to be present with my family. I'm getting a check month after month. There was months, you guys, where I didn't do a lot, and I still got a check. The lives that have changed, the people that have come into my life, unflipping believable. This is a vehicle to change your life and thousands of others. So here I am, and I'm doing this to God and saying I'm ready for the next step. And you're going to go through phases in this journey, and I just want you to remember that quote. Remember that the manifestations, that the goal is amazing, but it's who you become in the process. You're going to just look back and see this puzzle piece being put together, and it's so beautiful. All right, I got to get off my soapbox here and get on to the resolving concerns. So, first of all, maintain high posture and conviction. Even if you're nervous, people can feel your energy. And here's the key with that when you're just starting out. Third-party validation. You've got to use your upline support team, use crossline, use third-party. If it's products, use the videos, use testimonies or stories. Always use the disclaimer, but use third-party validation. People want to know, can I do this? Is this real? We need to just validate for them. It's up to them to decide. Marry the process, divorce the outcome. Stay persistent with people. A no is a not right now, but stay persistent. Okay, so for third-party validation, don't ask people, so if somebody asks, somebody is talking about time, well, I don't have time, okay, and you don't feel comfortable going there, don't even ask, just say, hey, I'm gonna get my business partner on the phone and they're gonna share their story and they didn't have time either. I want you to hear their story. So you can get people on the phone, okay? Don't ask for permission. I remember Michelle Poe called me with, I think it was Maria and Carrie and several people, and I blew off her calls. I didn't answer calls for 2 years, just being honest. You can use third party in Facebook Messenger. So if somebody asks you a question, you're messaging with people, well, I'm concerned about money. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. Those kind of things. You can say, you know what? Let me get you in touch with my business partner, and your business partner or your upline support team or crossline, they can even message in Facebook Message, put everybody on a group message together, their story. It's non-threatening. They're hearing your voice. They're hearing that conviction. You can do it via text message. Okay, there's a lot of ways to do this. You can do it via Zoom, set up a Zoom meeting with somebody that can share their story face to face. There's so many options to use third party, but use third party. People want to hear people they can relate with because they're wondering, can I do this? Is this for me? Okay, there's that fear aspect. Be honest, be real. If you don't know the answer, that's okay. People want to know that they don't have to have it all together. They don't have to have all the answers, okay? You have other people that you can use. Be quick, be concise, respect their time and yours. If you get somebody on a phone call with third party, okay, make it clear to all parties involved, hey, we're gonna get these questions answered and then we're gonna let you get back to your day and enjoy your family. Respect your time and respect other people's. Okay, there's 3 strategies you can use in resolving concerns. The feel, felt, found, okay? And so something you can do when you are asking people about concerns. On a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being I'm in, 1 being I'm not interested at all. Where are you at, okay? If somebody tells you I'm a 6, oh, okay, well that's awesome. What would it take to get you to a 10? Then listen to their concern. Maybe their concern is I don't have time. And this is where you use the feel, felt, found. And you can say, oh man, I totally get, so for me, I'm gonna speak for me, I get what you're saying. I felt the same way. I was teaching, I was coaching, I was taking care of my little toddler. I had no time. But here's what I found. I found that by doing this for a few hours a week, I have more time now than I had when I started. I'm free, I'm home with my children. Or if you don't know how to answer that, you say, hey, I've got somebody that can share their story with you around that can relate to you, okay? That's the feel, felt, found method, okay? The next strategy, I don't know about that, but here is a story, or I'm gonna connect you with someone who can answer that for you. And I've been talking about that third party. I don't know about that, be real. People want you to be authentic, okay? But maintain that posture. If somebody says something like, this is a pyramid scheme, don't back down, don't put your shoulders down. Heck no, it's not. You look them straight in the eye and go, why do you think that? Why would you think that? And then they're gonna express their fear, ask a question. They're gonna express their fear around why? Well, the person at the top makes all the money. Oh, well, that's not this. That's not this. Actually, with what we do, the majority of the money is made in the lower to middle ranks. And the person that enrolled me and the people above them, I can actually make more money than them. So that's not true. Oh, and a really cool fact, we're publicly traded on the NASDAQ, completely transparent, right? Anybody can go look us up. We're continuing to grow. We're on PubMed. I mean, this is legit. I would not be a part of a scam. That's not my thing, Okay, I just keep it real with people. Keep it real. Not a salesperson. I'm not a salesperson. Okay, I really, you guys, for 4 years, I really felt this way. I didn't want to take people's money. I felt bad for sharing with my friends and family like I was doing them a disservice. But that's where you got to get convicted in your gut that you have a massive gift and responsibility. I got to hurry up here on my time. Not a salesperson. So I'm not a salesperson. Somebody says, I'm not a salesperson. I don't know if I can do this. Again, that's a fear that's creeping up. Man, I totally know how you felt. I felt the same way. But here's what I found. I found that this changes people's health, that it's saved people's lives, that it's transformed people's lives. It's been a gateway of growth and transformation in my life. And I'm telling you, as you plug into this, you're going to see it too, and you're going to see the lives changed, and you're going to understand that you're not a salesperson. You are sharing the gift over and over and over again. And yes, we take in money, but money is just a form of energy. And this is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Or, hey, I don't know about that, but I'm going to connect you with somebody that can share their story around that. And then you go from there, right? Okay, I think that's all for me, unless anybody has any questions. But some of the main concerns, you guys, time. I don't have time, okay? Get to the root of that. Help them believe that they can do this. Money. I don't have enough money, or I don't have the money to do this. Big thing with that. Tell people, get in where you fit in. Get in where you fit in. If somebody can't come in a platinum, that's okay. They can come in at a lower pack. It's our job to guide them. It's our job to guide them and show them that they can do this, that they can step into this and help them overcome that fear, okay? Get in where you fit in with the money. Can we sell something? Can we do a garage sale? I'm telling you, would an additional $500 a month make a difference in your life? I mean, would an additional $300, $1,000? You can show them the compensation plan and say, man, I felt the same way. I was living paycheck to paycheck, but here's what I found. I'm getting a check for over $2,000 a month now because I chose to invest a little bit and put some time into growth, and my life's forever changed, or use a business partner, okay? I hope this helps. If anybody has questions, feel free to reach out. It's a pleasure to share with you today. I'm grateful, I'm blessed, I'm honored, and let's change the world, guys, one person at a time. Love ya.
Woo! Oh my gosh. See, you can see, I wish you guys, if you didn't know Chelsea back then and you can see her now, oh my gosh, this woman is filled with power and passion. I just so love it. Thank you so much, Chelsea. You guys, Pro 5 distributor on her way to Pro 6, but listen to her story. She's already winning, right? She gets to be home with her kids. So you don't have to make it all the way to the top to be benefiting in a very, very powerful way from this opportunity, okay? So yay for her. Who wouldn't want to come home and raise their kids, right? One thing that I want to share in regards to the her subject, resolving concerns, is don't be afraid to ask what's holding you up. What is keeping you, like she said, from being, a level of 6 and getting to 7 or 8? I want you to be comfortable with asking that question, but you have to be comfortable with those concerns first. And she shared with you what those main concerns usually boil down to. So you need to make sure that you're comfortable and familiar with them before you ask. But if we don't ask, then how do we know how to help them? How do we know how to get them to that next level? So when you do the follow-up, which we're going to have Maria talk about the follow-up and the close, if you don't have those questions, then you can't, then the follow-up is going to die. So let's see here. I'm kind of looking at my other notes real quick. And one other thing that I want to share is oftentimes people will say, they get overwhelmed and they feel like, and I hate to use this word, quitting. I almost felt like quitting. And what I want to share with you, and I want to put this bug in you, is don't ever, ever, if you're feeling frustrated and there's a struggle, the beauty of network marketing is you don't ever have to quit. You may take a time out, right? You may have life happen and you have to step away. But as long as you're on your auto ship and you're meeting those monthly requirements by having your $40 purchase, you don't have to quit. So don't ever feel like it has to be a decision. I'm in or I'm out. You may just need a timeout, okay? So hopefully that helps and get some of that out of those preconceived thoughts out of your head as well. So I get the honor of introducing our dear, sweet Maria Williams, Elite Pro 9. And Maria, you can see, it just makes my heart beat. She's like a den mother to us, right? She's like just there for all of us. And I love the fact that she thrives on that, and you can see it. She's utterly amazing. She's a fantastic mentor and leader, and we just adore her. She's there for whatever we need, and you're never gonna go wrong. You know, if it wasn't for Maria saying yes, you guys, the majority of us wouldn't even be here. So we so hail to you, because that's where it all started for our line, right? So we're so grateful, powerful of you guys can see what it is for you making that decision. Look at the power that you have of that ripple effect, that butterfly effect, okay? So she's gonna close with the follow-up and resolving concerns, but let's go into a little bit about her bio. And she is a wife, a mother, and an entrepreneur. I just love saying that. Maria was born in Brazil and immigrated to the US when she was a baby. She grew up in Massachusetts, where she majored in business administration from the University of Massachusetts with a minor in human resources. Maria spent 20 years as a human resource manager in the manufacturing industry before moving to Arizona and starting her whole new career in network marketing. Maria has now built a multi-million-dollar home-based business. Doesn't that sound good? She truly delivers from her heart, and every day is helping others achieve their dreams, their goals, and helping them reach their financial and time freedom. So when Maria is not on calls or doing one-on-ones or presenting for her team, this incredible opportunity, she spends a lot of time with her husband and her two amazing boys. So I want to thank you again, and she's going to bring it all together for us right now, and then we'll close it up after we're done. So take it away, Miss Maria.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness, I'm sitting here so inspired by everyone. This is so incredible. I mean, it truly, truly is. If you haven't gotten anything from this, I don't know I don't know what to say to you, because I've gotten stuff from it. I've gotten tips. I've gotten gold nuggets, even though I've been doing this now almost 9 years. Yep, I've got a page of notes here. So almost 9 years. It's just the way someone says something that just gets, it's like, wow, I never thought of it that way, never said it that way. So just so inspired right now. So someone, I learned from a real estate person, always be closing, right? And I was like, always be closing? Yes, always be closing. So when you talk and you share this information with people, you always want to be closing. And people ask me all the time, how do you close? How do you close? How do you close? Well, it's very simple. I have one line that I personally use. Are you ready to get started? And then zip it. That is the key, because the first one that speaks loses. So when you ask someone, I've literally been with people where they've asked a question similar to that, or do you want to get started? Do you want to sign up? And then they just keep on talking. And I've seen people, someone that was ready to sign up, unconvince them, right? That's probably not the right word, but just convince them not to sign up. And I'm like, what just happened here? So the biggest thing that you can do is when you've shown them the video, you've talked to them, you've done third party, whatever you've gone through, ask, are you ready to get started? Or how do you want to get started? And just zip it and don't say a word. You're going to think that the silence has gone on for hours, right? But it hasn't. Just let them speak first. I'm telling you, this is like the biggest tip I can give you. Ask the question and then just wait. because they're processing, and what comes out next is you're going to pick up on what is holding them back. So let them say what, if they're ready to go, then great, start signing them up. If they're not, what's going to come up is their concerns, right? Just what Chelsea went over. So if you listen closely to what they say, it's a concern that's going to come out. But you have to dig into those concerns, because usually the first concern is not the concern. My theory is that when you dig down deep, the big concern is, can I do this? So all the things we say are just kind of excuses, but we're really asking, can I do this? Can this work for me? Like, am I enough? People are even thinking without even realizing, can I do all of this? So let me share my screen here with you, because I want to make sure I get all my notes here that I've got. My big why, my family here, of course, that is the reason that I started this, the reason I do this, my 2 boys, my husband, traveling around the world, blessing other people with this. So Brenda, Laurie had said at the beginning, your why is what drives you. This is what drives me to do this, to help others, is because I know that others have families like me and others have whys like mine. And to get to your why is you have to close. Here's 3 different examples. How do you see yourself getting involved? Are you ready to get started? Wait a minute, I think I wrote this wrong. Do you want what you, I don't even know what I'm saying. Do you want, you would like to do? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you know what you would like to do? So when you ask, whatever you ask, the key, look at the red, is just to stop and listen. Listen to what people say, and then start answering and resolving those concerns, right? So if you present to them the first time and you ask them this, are you ready to get started? Well, I need to do some research, okay? Or I need to go look at some of the data you sent to me. That's where the follow-up is going to come. I want to give you another example of a 6-step close. What did you like best? Listen to what they say, right? Jot down the things that they said. Well, then on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? If someone says, I'm a 10, then all right, let's get you signed up and start signing them up. Don't ask any other questions. Just start going through the process. If they're an 8, right? You've listened to that. Well, then say how much income, part-time income, how much income part-time to make it worth to you? Would it make it worth to you? Listen to what they say. How many hours a week could you commit to? How many months would you be willing to commit to that? Then you can say, for example, John, if I could show you a way to make $1,000 that you said this would be worth for you if you could make $1,000 a month, working about 5 hours per week for 12 months, would you be willing to get started today? So bring it back to what they say. So ask them a couple of key questions. How much would you like to make? How much time would you commit to making that? How many months would you put into doing that? This way, they've made a commitment to you, what they would like to make. I could spare an hour a day. Yeah, I could spare an hour a day, but I'm not going to work Saturday and Sunday. There's your 5 hours or a half hour, whatever they say. And how many months, right? Would you be willing to get started if I could show you a way to make that happen? And then that's when you're going to show them the compensation and how we get paid. So this is an indirect way of asking, are you ready to get started, right? It's a way to get them to see, well, would you want some extra income? What are you willing to do to get it? And if I could show you that you could potentially get it by investing that time into a certain amount of time. Now, if someone says, oh, I'd like to be making $1 million and I'm going to give you 1 hour a week and I want it to happen in 12 months, you've got to be realistic with people, right? Well, that's a tall order, but I can't guarantee you that. But if you were to maybe scale it down to this and let it grow, and then use one of our stories. Why do we tell you how long we've been involved, how many people on our team, how much we're making, right, from the income disclosure, how much revenue a month or a year that we have in our company. The reason we tell you those things is to give you our story. You know, when I got started, I didn't have a story. People say, oh, well, you have a story now. I didn't have a story when I got started. I used other people's story. I used Carrie Dickey's story, her success story, and it wasn't even her success story in this company because she was just getting started alongside with us. It was her success story in a different company that I used, just showing that I have a friend, someone I know that has been really successful with something. But now she has seen that this is 1,000,000 times more effective than an antioxidant and the potential knowing about it. So I used someone else's story. There's always a story out there you can use. So you can bring them back to reality and show a story. You can use, you know, Carrie, me, I think the Pose, Mark and Pam, we all hit Pro 7 in a year. So if we did it, you can do it. If we did it, anybody can do it. And this was with no database, right? This was with not bringing in a team and getting to Pro 7 in a couple of months. This was us starting from ground zero, making calls just like you're doing today, that we were able to do it. So if we did it, you could do it. How did we do it? Is like all the steps that you have been taught today, we did exactly what we were told to do. We didn't skip any of the steps. We didn't try to reinvent the wheel. We listened to our mentors. We listened to Stu Brody and Carrie Dickey, and we did what they said, exactly like they said, and we just did it. We trusted them because they had success. We trusted what they told us to do, and we just did it over and over again. And sometimes, you know, some people grew faster than other people. Some people found their leaders faster than other people. Me personally, I got lots of customers in because I was very passionate about this product, but I wasn't getting any business builders. I wasn't getting any distributors. It took me 4 months to get my first real distributor. And that first real distributor, Pam and Mark Gordon, which I am so grateful for them, because with them has led to this amazing team that's here today. So it took me time, right? Everybody's journey is different. Don't compare your journey to anyone else's. So if you're not getting the results you want, get with your mentor, get with whoever is working with you, do role playing. Like, okay, so give me an example of what you've said and let them listen and just be coachable, right? Just be coachable. The biggest thing I can tell you is your posture, right? You may not, you have to believe in something in this business, whether it's the product, the science. I believed in this product. It has changed and blessed my body. So I was very passionate and very confident on this product and what it could do and how it could change people's lives. And when I realized that I needed to be just as passionate on the business side, when I saw my business start to grow, I was able to shift and switch and use that posture. No, this is an amazing product, but there's an amazing business opportunity here. That nobody can deny, that this is an amazing business opportunity. What you will do with it, it is in your own hands. It's not my fault. It's not your upline's fault. It's not that you were trained or you weren't trained. It's your responsibility to take the action needed. It's your responsibility to learn from all of these amazing mentors that you have heard from today and take it to the next level. So always be closing, always be trying to, asking them, are they ready to get started? And when they're not ready to get started, then it's follow-up, right? Not everyone signs up the minute they get presented this. I didn't sign up when Carrie Williams showed me the video the first time. I didn't sign up immediately. She did a 3-way call with me. She got Carrie Dickey on the call with me and we talked. I went to a presentation and then I got fired up. And then I finally signed up because I'm a competitive person. I was still back. I knew I was going to take the product, wasn't sure about the business. But when she kind of challenged me and said, well, so-and-so already signed up, because I knew she was talking to me and she was talking to someone else. And that other person, when she called me and told me that other person signed up, that was it for me. I was like, no, I'm doing this, because if she's doing it, I'm not going to be left behind. So I had the fear of missing out. So you never know what is it that's going to trigger the person to sign up finally, right? I knew the information I was looking at was amazing, but it was finding my trigger, right? Like I had fear, and really deep down is I didn't know if I could do this. I really didn't. I wanted to be able to do it. I wanted it to work, but I didn't know. I had never done this before. I'm like, can I really do this? Can this work for me? But when I saw that the other person she was talking to signed up, I'm like, wait a minute. If she can do it, I can do it. Why not, right? Give it a shot. So there are two types of follow-ups. There's the short-term follow-up and then the long-term follow-up. The short-term follow-up is you've sent them the ABC, you've gotten them on the phone, you either got them third-party validation, met one-on-one, or brought them to a presentation, whether it's a webinar or a meeting, and then you're asking, are you ready to get started? Oh, well, I want to, go look at some of the information. I want to go home and talk to my husband. Great. You want to set up that you're going to follow up with them within 1 to 2 days. So that's the short-term follow-up, is you want to say, great, I understand. Yes, you want to look at some information, send them to PubMed. I always tell people you need to go look up oxidative stress, and now you can look up NRF2 activation. Look up oxidative stress and cancer, oxidative stress and diabetes. Go to Google Scholar, go to PubMed. That's giving them homework. Say, I can send you a couple of studies or whatever information they want. Send them some information, have them do that homework, but set up a time to follow up with them. I normally tell people, once I've given them the information, they're going to go look at stuff, say, I'll give you a call in a couple of days. And I get my calendar, and I write down, today's Monday, Wednesday, I'm calling Laurie. And then Wednesday, I call Laurie. And now begins the long-term follow-up, which is keeping in touch with your contacts. So then after those 2 days, if Laurie's ready to get going, I'm going to say again, are you ready to get started, or do you need more time? Look at what I underlined. Do you need more time? So after the next follow-ups, every time I follow up, I ask, are you ready to get started, or do you need more time? You want to let people feel comfortable. You don't want to pressure anyone, because if you pressure anyone to get started, you're going to keep pressuring them to stay in the game and keep doing it. You want people that see this and come to you and want to do this. Like they figured out their why, they really want to do this. So ask them, make them feel comfortable, and let them decide when they're ready. Do you need more time? Are you ready to get started, or do you need time? Do you know what you would like to do, or do you need more time? So the long-term follow-up is, so let's say Laurie says, no, not quite ready. This is going on in my life, and she's got a tons of excuses, and you've tried to resolve. Not a problem. My rule of thumb is 60 to 90 days. Is to keep in touch with them and have a personal contact, 60 to 90 days, whether I'm calling them, I'm sending them a text, sending them an email, monthly emails. You can create a group and monthly email, send them, there's always a new study coming out. There's always some sort of new information. If it isn't a new study, it could be a new bonus, a new incentive. I know when the Ireland trip came out, people that I knew were still on the fence and haven't decided. I said, sent them information on the Ireland trip. Maybe someone in there has a dream to go to Ireland. I wouldn't know that, right? So whatever we get as distributors, send that to the people that are on the fence. Send that to your drip list. Would you like to go to Ireland? Do you know anyone that would like to go to Ireland? Our company has just launched an incentive trip. I'd love to talk to you about it, right? That's how you keep following up with people. Some of the things that we do on our team to keep connected. So, you may have a lot of people, and it's tough sometimes to follow up. I'm not the greatest person at follow-up. The tool that I've used to follow up is that we have a Facebook page for prospects and customers and distributors, and I plug them into that so they can keep reading the stories, seeing the information that's coming out. So I use this Facebook group to put them into that group so they have some kind of touch and contact. I kind of use my intuition. When somebody comes to my mind, that's my signal that I need to reach out to them and contact them. So I have to say, I'm not honestly a great person that I'm strategically, and I've always been, okay, I'm calling these people and I've got this list. I kind of go with the flow, and it's just the way I go, is when someone comes to my mind that I haven't talked to in a while, I reach out to them. One of the other things, not even in that Facebook page, but my personal page, is when I post things that have people that I've talked to, it's just a great way that, remember that if people are on social media following you, right, and they become your friend, they're watching you. So when you post things, always keep that in mind, that people are watching you. I posted something that I took from Chelsea. She posted a picture with a little yellow pill, and it said, hey, my LV peeps, comment what this little yellow fella has done for you. And I saw that and I'm like, oh my God, that's genius, right? So I copied her exact post, put it in my personal page, and I got tons and tons of people, telling me what they've done. But in there, I got tons and tons of people, hey, I want to know more about this. Some people that I got a customer, someone that I've talked to for 8 years. 8 years I've talked to this person. She has a health issue, and I keep contacting her and sending her info, and she'll post something and I'll respond to her. And this time was just the right timing. So you never know when is going to be that person's high noon, right? When it's going to be, the time is right for them. So the time was finally right for her for whatever reason. I think she had some kind of battles with health and recently. And I think when she saw that post and it remembered, oh my God, Maria's driving me crazy. She's always on my case. She's always sending me stuff. It was the right moment. And I thank God she ordered, and now her journey begins, and let's see where it goes. So don't give up on people. Keep following up. You never know when they will change their mind. And I'm happy that she's a customer, because if she has the results that I think she may have, she's got a great personality. I would love for her to be a business partner. And who knows, maybe when she gets those results she's looking for, she will now want to start sharing with people and become a business partner. Who knows? So you're always planting seeds. So you can tag people on posts that you do. You can copy and use stories, send studies, a monthly email. I'm looking at my notes, pop into your mind. Happy birthdays. Oh my goodness, a way to keep in touch with people is I use Facebook and look through who's having birthdays and try to send messages. You can send a great way to say happy birthday to someone is on a private message them, not a text, your voice. Just say, hey, just want to say happy birthday to you. It's been forever. We haven't talked. I'd love to catch up and see how life is. What if somebody reaches out to you, right back to you, because they kind of have an idea you're into this something, but now it's their moment that they're ready to get started. And that could just be the start of that conversation. I think it was Brenda that said, your voice, there's an energy in your voice. There's a heartfelt presence in your voice. So use your voice when you reach out to people. Call them, let them hear you, let them hear your heart, your passion, right? That's the posture that they need to hear. I think that's it. Oh, no, I got one more thing, one more slide. Why is follow-up important? Even though you think you may have done it forever and ever and ever, and I know some people say, well, I don't want to keep bothering people. Well, until they say, hey, no, don't send me anymore, then you stop. I've literally had maybe 1 or 2 people that have said, hey, I'm really not interested in, don't send me anymore. So I stopped. Everyone else, and I've even asked some people, hey, am I bugging you by sending you stuff? I test the waters every now and then. And people say, no, I love looking at the information. Great, I've sent it to a couple of friends. For whatever reason, it's not for them, but they've sent it out, right? Always ask for referrals. If someone says they're not interested, well, who do you know? Who do you know that needs better health? Who do you know that like to make an extra $500? Who do you know that like to be a stay-at-home mom? Who do you know that would like to retire early? Who do you know that would like to be part of this amazing community, right? So follow-up is important because 60% of the sales are done on the 5th follow-up. Look at me. Carrie came over, showed me the video. We talked to Carrie Dickey, did a third-party validation call. She took me to a meeting. I still didn't sign up. Then she said, hey, so-and-so just signed up. So I'm around that 4th. There was probably of course there was something else in between that. I know she sent me information. So we call them touches. It's 5 touches or more. So it's not a touch like, hey, you're going to sign up. Hey, you're going to join me. Hey, you need to get on this. We're not talking about that. You're educating people. So think of it, okay, they didn't say yes because they're not educated enough yet. So how can I educate people? So keep dripping, keep educating, because that 5th one or more is when people start signing up. So don't be afraid, you're not bugging people. The fortune is in the follow-up. Ever tried? Yeah. Ever failed? Yes. No matter, try again. Fail better, fail forward. You won't believe what you can accomplish by attempting the impossible with the courage to repeatedly fail better, by Samuel Beckett. So I want to leave you with that and turn you back to Lori to wrap it up for us. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay, sweet. Oh my gosh. So much passion and expertise, and what a beautiful way to close up our training this morning. And I'm going to highlight a couple things on that with what Maria said, because remember that no is never no with LifeVantage, right? They just don't know what we know yet. And so it's like she said, it constantly takes education. It's not just education on the product, but it's also education on the company, on the industry or the profession, right? It's constantly taking, needing education, or they need to be educated. They just don't know what they don't know, and they don't know what you don't know, right? And it's really, really important that you continue with that follow-up, because we definitely, like Maria had stated, we definitely see that things change. They've lost a job, somebody was sick. I mean, things change. And we've seen, if it's not 6 months, it's been 2 years and 3 years, where people come back and say, you know what, I need you to tell me a little bit more about what you had mentioned to me, you know, a while ago. And it happens. It has happened to all of us. So don't wait for them. You want to make sure that you're staying connected, right? Like Maria said, and always ask for that referral. You know, I understand that you're not ready yet, but who do you know that can benefit from this information? Always ask for the referral. They absolutely, it might trigger something for them, but it also might trigger them to be that competitive part that Maria was talking about, right? Oh, wait, if I'm going to give up a name, it's going to be my name, right? So always ask for the referral. Let's see here. I think that's what I had. So basically we have, I just want to thank all of our guests. What just an action-packed and loaded training that we just had. And we've covered your why, those 6 components, right? We've covered your why, the invite, your database, the story, resolving concerns, and your follow-up and close. So what we provided you here with, you guys, is income producing activity. This is it. That's it. This is the core of your business. This is what you want to do over and over and over and over again. Don't complicate it. Make it simple. Utilize that third-party validation. Don't be the messenger, right? Or don't be the message, not the messenger. Am I not saying that right? Don't be the message, be the messenger. Okay, don't do it like I did it. Anyway, So keep it simple and keep it fun. You can see we absolutely, you know, when we talk about this being our second job or doing the work, you guys, this is the work. We get to do this. We have fun. It doesn't mean that we don't have struggles or we don't have frustrations. We're going to have that in anything that we do in life. Why wouldn't we have them here, right? So we want to make sure that you just stay plugged in, okay? What I want to do is leave you with a couple challenges, all right? So we provided you this information. My first challenge to you is I would like to see you do, because it's the beginning of the year, either do or redo, adjust and tweak your vision board. Make sure that you have your map on how you're going to follow your dreams, okay? How you're going to get and achieve your dreams, your goals. You guys, isn't it great that LifeVantage gives us the opportunity not just to chase our dreams, but to achieve our dreams? I had no idea. I had dreams, but I never thought it was in my cards. Had no idea, you guys. So there's something here and it's big. Don't wait. 2019 is going to be the year. And if you go slow or if you don't take it serious, you literally are going to miss it. We can't stress that enough. We've been here long enough that we can see the changes, right? So create your vision board. The other thing I'd like you to do is add additional 50 names to your database. Okay, so sometimes that just might be the girl in the green sweater behind the counter at the bank, right? So really go and look over that database. Go look up the one that Brenda was talking about. Reach out if you don't have it. Eric Worre's how to build your database, because you really want to think of those people who are around you. You don't even always know their name, but they are all around us. And you can simply say, you know, start off by saying, you know, how do you like being a UPS driver? You know, how's that working for you? Do you enjoy it? How long have you been with them? And a lot of times people right then and there will tell you exactly what they like and don't like. And there you have your opportunity, right? So add an additional 50 names to your list. And I want to make sure that you are registered for LVA by this evening, registered for LVA and for Elite Academy. And I want to say about LVA, you guys, when you are in an area where our elite distributors are coming to us, they are coming to you. You have to do your part. They're doing their part for you. You need to show up. This is a business that you have to stay connected. If you're not staying engaged and connected, it is so easy for you to slide away, and then you're not getting fulfilled, right? And you're not hearing new information. And the worst thing of all is that when you slide back, it is so much harder to do the double time to come back. So stay connected, reach out, build as a team, utilize your team. And thank you so much for starting your 2019 with our global blueprint training. And we are so excited to share the next one with you. I think we're talking about having some men on the panel, if anybody wants to see some men. And we're here to deliver, right? So love you, ladies. Thank you so much. This is a close.
Awesome job. Stop the recording.
Thanks you guys so much. Have a good day.
Woohoo! It's a wrap.
Thank you all.